Did you know that you can also see with your heart? Hi, my name is Melisa and I'm the author of this beautiful book, baby, Untangled. It's been just such an incredible blessing to be able to hold this in my hands. This is the culmination of over 30 years of heartache and life experience, about 10 years of heavenly revelation, and it's 2 years of really, really hard work as well. But as I've been paging through it and just enjoying the moment of actually sitting with my physical book, I got stuck on a little page 6, where I share a little story. As I put my son to bed one night, he was only 3 years old, and I could see that he was having a hard time going to sleep. And he said to me, "Mum, please will you stay with me in my room tonight?" And I said to him, "No, my dear, I can't have to go and sleep in my own bed next to Daddy." And he said to me, "Oh, I wish I had a wife." And I had such a giggle. It was very sweet, but I realized that, holy matrimony wasn't going to be the answer to his problem. And I said to him, "You know what, Aidan, you don't have to be afraid because God's angels are all around you." And he said to me, "But Mom, how do I know that God's angels are around me if I can't see them physically?" And oh my goodness, I got so thrown by that question. So I'm stood in the bedroom, it's late, I'm trying to tuck in my child, I want to go to bed myself, and now I've got to answer this deep theological question about angels, and I'm umming and ahhing, and I'm trying to think, what can I tell my child about angels? And after a little while he says to me, "Oh, I know, Mom, you can also see with your heart." And in that moment I just thought, wow, that revelation is wild. It's wild. It's amazing. Think about it. You can also see with your heart. And the funny thing is that was exactly what was wrong in my life at the time. I wasn't seeing with my heart. I was only seeing with my physical eyes. I was only realizing what was happening in my physical world. But there was so much going on behind the scenes that I wasn't paying attention to. Hi, Paula. Yes, children ask difficult questions, but sometimes they just have those little question or that saying that just absolutely bring revelation. I've had many of those occasions with my 2 kids where they just say something and I'm like, why didn't I think of that? It's so profound. And that really was a profound truth in my life. The fact that I can see with my heart. In Ephesians 1 verse 18, Paul prays for the church, and he prays that the eyes of their heart will be enlightened, that they will be able to see with the eyes of their heart. It also talks about seeing with your imagination, or the eyes of your imagination being enlightened. And it's interesting because it was when I sat in the movie Tangled, and I saw the movie play out on the big screen, I suddenly felt like my eyes could see what was really happening in the spiritual realm, that there was a war going on around me that I wasn't aware of, that the enemy, which was depicted in the movie as that Mother Gothel figure, she had stolen my identity as a child of the King, and I grew up as someone who was stuck in a prison, or that was my experience in life, so limiting, so stuck, so unable to get untangled from all the struggles I was going through. And it really empowered me to see with the eyes of my heart, because I could see who I was, who I really was, that I wasn't this person, I wasn't a prisoner, I was a princess. I was a child of the King. I was free. The only thing that kept Rapunzel stuck in that tower was the lies that she believed. She wasn't physically bound with chains to the tower. It was the lies that she believed, that she heard Gothel tell her from a very early age. And it was the same in my life. I had been fed lies by the enemy from a very early age, and I believed them. So I want to ask you, dear friend, are you seeing with the eyes of your heart? Because you can see with the eyes of your heart. So I just want to read this quick scripture to you as well. Ephesians 6 verse 10 to 12. It says a final word. Be strong with the Lord's mighty power. Put on all of God's armor so that you will be able to stand firm against all strategies and tricks of the devil. For we are not fighting against people made of flesh and blood, but against the evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against those mighty powers of darkness who rule this world, and against wicked spirits in heavenly realms. So there you go. Sometimes, we know this verse, our struggle is not with flesh and blood. And my struggle was very much with flesh and blood. I was struggling with myself. I was struggling with my own inadequacies. I was struggling to get free and struggling in so many different areas of my life. I was struggling with depression, with eating issues. But all of those behaviors were linked to lies. They were linked to things I believed about myself. And I thought that those lies were simply just thoughts I was having. I didn't recognize that there were wicked spirits in heavenly realms. Not every thought you think is your own thought. Not every thought you think is your own. Oftentimes we are taught by our experiences or by bad situations that we go through. And through that experience, we learn a reality that's not really the true reality, if that makes any sense. So, So we need to be able to see with our eyes. We need to be able to see what is happening in the realm of the spirit. So I want to pray for you today that that Ephesians 1:18 prayer. So I pray, dear friend, that like Paul prayed for the church of Ephesus, that the eyes of your heart will be enlightened, that you will really discover who you are, and just discover the wonderful love of the Father in all its dimensions, that you will know how precious you are and how much you are loved and how free you are, and that you will experience that love, because it's the love of the Father that empowers us to do those things that we can't do for ourselves. It's the love of the Father that empowers us to become untangled from the lies of the enemy. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have a lovely day. Love you. God bless. Bye.